Well, I wasn't expecting this. Sources have confirmed that Jerry Jones is going to keep Mike McCarthy as the Dallas Cowboy head coach. What's going on, y'all? It's Sacred Eagle, and I wanted to touch on this as well as touch on, in general, the status right now with the Eagles and the Cowboys, because after the way the season went for both of us, we are very much so in similar but different and very unique situations that we're going to be talking about for a while. And while the Eagles have not made a decision, or at least haven't vocally spoke about what's going to happen with Nick Sirianni, the Cowboys outright came out and said it. Mike McCarthy is staying. And I know a lot of Cowboy fans are probably not going to be very happy about that, but it's unfortunately fortunately, however they see it, your reality. And how I see this as an Eagles fan is more of the same. The main issue that I think that the Cowboys are going to have is the free agents that are going to leave. And this is where I feel the situation gets similar between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Both teams have a lot of free agents that are going to be entering free agency next season, and they have a few players that need to hit a big payday, which is going to hamper their ability to take more free agents and retain them, to sign them back. So I'm very curious as to what's going to happen there for the Cowboys. The Eagles is a bit more of a mess right now. But for the Cowboys, I know CeeDee Lamb has to see his payday. Dak Prescott's got one more deal left on his contract. Tony Pollard is still there. Stephon Gilmore is going to be moving on into free agency. I know Tyron Smith, I believe, both of them are going to be hitting free agency, or at least two of those guys on the offensive line are going to be hitting free agency. So there's a lot of people that the Cowboys have to try and retain as well as pay. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. Whereas in Philly, you got the old heads like Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. We still don't know the true status of Jason Kelce. We've already thanked him and went through all of that, but he hasn't officially announced. And I feel as though, despite what they're saying, defending, the Sirianni and everything, I feel like the coach's decision, or the decision to either keep the coach right now as the Nick Sirianni or move on from him is going to impact at least Jason Kelce. Personally, that's my opinion. I could be very wrong with that, but I'm just saying. At the end of the day, the Eagles have those guys that are moving on. You have the people that they plugged in, like Byard and Shaq Leonard and a few other people that are going to be leaving on the defensive side. The offensive side, I think it's just DeAndre Swift, and then Devontae Smitty needs his deal. I think the performance that he gave us in Tampa kind of solidifies the fact that we need to lock him in on a big deal, keep him in Philly with AJ and Jalen for the future, regardless of who the coaches are. And hopefully, if the Eagles tomorrow do announce coaching changes, or if they're keeping Sirianni, that coaching changes are going to be made in the staff of Nick Sirianni. You know how I feel. I feel like personally, getting rid of everybody is probably going to help. At least in the immediate future, it's going to help. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was just kind of surprised that Mike McCarthy was not going anywhere. I feel like the Cowboys just continue to fall in this rabbit hole of accepting mediocrity and not being able to get to that next level, and they just don't know how to get out of it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me know what your thoughts are on Mike McCarthy staying in Dallas, if you think Nick Sirianni is going to get the boot, or if we're just going to see his coaching staff get an overhaul. And who do you think is staying? Who do you think is going when it comes to free agencies on both sides, Eagles and Cowboys? Let me know. We still have to look out for the Commanders and who they're going to sign as their head coach. We know Brian Daboll in New York as of right now is safe. I know there were talks about it way back when when the Giants were doing really bad, like when the Cowboys blew them out the second time around. But the season got better for them, and I feel like he's warranted himself another year of building up a team that can compete. He's got a pretty solid foundation of young guys, and Daniel Jones is clearly missed over there too, so we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you are a newcomer. Give that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it a lot, and I will see you all in the next one. Fly Eagles Fly. Peace out, y'all.